Hello, Dr. Natividad. My name is Rosangeli Ruiz, and this is my analysis on Arizona's language development approach. Before we start, I just wanted to clarify I know that the limit of our presentation was 10 to 12 slides. I have 13, but the reason for that is because I added like a small introduction, a conclusion, and the references are on this slide, on this presentation. Sorry about that. With that said, we will begin. Introduction. Arizona's language development approach emphasizes the importance of recognizing English learners, ELs, students as essential and valued members of the educational community. With over 80,000 multilingual learners in Arizona schools, the state calls on every level of the educational system to take an active role in supporting these students' academic success. Surrounding these principles is a clear overarching goal, which is to empower EO students with a strong sense of agency, confidence, and determination as they develop both language and content knowledge. And this information was found from Arizona Department of Education, and others were my own words. Demographic and home language composition of Arizona's pre-K to 12 English learner population. As of the 2022-2023 school year, Arizona's pre-K to 12 English learners population included 103,318 students, representing 9.2% of the total K through 12 enrollment. Additionally, there were 41,197 former ELs being monitored for reclassification purposes. The five most commonly spoken languages among EL students in Arizona were Spanish, Arabic, Swahili, Navajo, and Vietnamese. Notably, 30.2% of EL students had not achieved English proficiency after 5 years. This diverse linguistic profile reflects Arizona's multilingual targeted language development population and underscores the importance of gathered language development support across its schools. That came from Villegas 2023. Structured English Immersion, SEI, in Arizona. Distinctions from Sheltered English Instruction. Terrell 2023 comparison of structured English immersion, SEI, in Arizona versus the sheltered English instruction is as follows. SEI in Arizona. It is state mandated for English language learners. Instruction is almost entirely in English. It has focus on rapid English language acquisition, and it requires daily English language development, which would be K through 5, 120 minutes per day, and grades 6 through 12, it would be 100 minutes per day. And this includes approved models like Pullout, 2-Hour, Newcomer, and those we will be talking about further on in our presentation. Then you have the Sheltered English Instruction. It integrates content and language instruction, teaches academic subjects using strategies to support ELLs, focuses on understanding both content in English, uses scaffolding, visuals, and interactive lessons. And then the key differences between both of them is SEI language focused, isolated instruction. And then the shelter is more about content integrated and language supported. Now we're going to talk about Arizona's language development approach. Arizona's Language Development Approach, LDA, is a research-based framework supporting English learners, ELs, built on the belief that all educators are responsible for EL success. Arizona Department of Education 2019. It consists of four key principles. The first principle is asset based behaviors and expectations. It values EL's cultural, linguistic, and experiential strength to foster inclusion and high expectations. Principle number two, integrated instruction and disciplinary language and content. Merges language development which with content learning through strategies like scaffolding and academic discussions. Principle number three, targeted and explicit language instruction. Provides direct instruction aligned with Arizona's English language proficiency standards across listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Sorry about that. And principle number four, assessment, monitoring, and feedback. Uses multiple assessments to track progress and guide instruction, ensuring feedback supports continuous growth. The LDA is grounded in research showing that culturally responsive teaching, integrated instruction, ongoing assessment improve ELL achievement. Arizona Department of Education, 2019. So now we are going to talk about the role of student agency in supporting English learners, building self-determination, voice, and confidence. Student agency is a critical component in the education of English learners, as it empowers them to take ownership of their learning, therapy enhancing self-determination, voice, and confidence. This came from Teachers Institute and Leading Change 2021. Student agency helps English learners take control of their learning, which builds self-determination, voice, and confidence. Self-determination would be EL sets goals and makes choices, boosting motivation and ownership, leading to increased engagement and persistence in learning tasks and their educational journeys. Voice. They share ideas and culture, helping them feel seen and heard, creating an environment where ELs feel valued, enhancing their participation in classroom discussions and collaborative activities. Confidence. Active participation helps ELs gain confidence in understanding and using English, encouraging them to take risks, ask questions, and engage more deeply. Key behaviors for language growth and academic success. Components of Arizona's approved SEI models. This is where we're going to talk about the newcomer, the pullout, the 2 hour, and the 50-50 dual language immersion. Arizona structured English immersion SEI models are designed to support English learners through targeted and integrated instruction. The Arizona State Board of Education has approved 4 research-based SEI models: Pullout, 2 hour, Newcomer, and 50-50 dual language immersion. Each model offers distinct instructional strategies to meet the diverse needs of EL students. Arizona Department of Education, 2023. The Pullout model. This consists of daily ELD, 60-minute in grades through K through 5, and 50-minute grades 6 through 12, with the remainder of the day integrated in the classrooms. The 2 hour model. This one is daily ELD, and this would be 120 minutes for all grade levels. Additional integrated instruction for specific content areas. Newcomer model. For recent arrivals with limited English, grades K through 5, 120-minute ELD plus 120-minute integrated in the classroom. And then grades 6 through 12 would be 100 minutes ELD plus 100 minutes of integrated instruction in the classroom. Then the 50-50 dual language immersion is 50% instruction in English and 50% in partner language, which would be any language that the student is familiar with, which is Navajo, um, Hispanic, which would be Spanish, whatever other type of language that is the student's primary language. It requires a parental waiver, and it promotes bilingualism and bilaterality because in our reality it helps the students because then they would be bilingual. They would not only have their primary language, but they would also have a secondary language, which would be English. So now we're going to talk about determining EL program eligibility in Arizona. In Arizona, the eligibility process for English learner programs begins with the home language survey, completed by parents upon student enrollment. If a language other than English is indicated, the student is referred for assessment using the Arizona English Language Learner Assessment, AZELA, Arizona Department of Education 2023. AZELA is a standardized assessment used for both initial placement and ongoing reassessment of EL students, and we will talk further down in the presentation about AZELA. It evaluates proficiency in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Based on AZELA results, students are either identified as English proficient or placed in an EL program. Students are reassessed annually with AZELA to monitor progress and determine when they meet the criteria for reclassification as fluent English proficient. On the side of this slide, I put some graphics on there, and the one I want to focus on is on the bottom one, because this is part of what the Azela program is, and the Azela program helps teachers and provides tools and the necessary strategies that they need to help those EL learners, those English learners, English language learners, to progress and learn the language better. And this is a perfect example of one of the many strategies that instructors and educators can use for in the Azela program. Okay, so now we are going to talk about Azela standard accommodations for ELs. Arizona provides accommodations to ensure EOs can fairly access the Azela without affecting test validity. These fall into three categories. This was all found in Arizona Department of Education 2023. The first category is universal test conditions, available to all students. These are small groups or one-on-one testing, special seating or lighting, repeating directions, use of test nav tools like magnifier, color contrast, and breaks as needed. The second category would be standard accommodations. For students with documented need, assistive technology with spell grammar check disabled, scribe for bubbling multiple choice answers, reading, writing prompts allowed, and use of special paper version, SPVs. And then the third category would be the additional accommodations. Requires ADE approval and must be listed in a student's IEP or 504 plan. Some supports is scribes for writing, speech to text are not allowed as they alter what the test measures. Now we are going to talk about the parental rights in English learners services, program refusals, and assessment participation. In Arizona, parents and guardians have specific rights concerning English learner services. Refusal of any EL program services. Parents can decline EL program services for their child at any time by submitting a signed parent withdrawal form. This decision is made after a consultation with school officials, ensuring parents are fully informed about the available EL programs and their child's English proficiency level. This information was found in Arizona Department of Education with no date. Mandatory annual assessment. Even if EL services are declined, students are still required to participate in the annual Arizona English Language Learner Assessment, AZELA, until they achieve a proficient score. This assessment monitors students' progress in English language proficiency. This information was found in Arizona Department of Education 2024. Re-enrollment in EL services. Parents retain the right to re-enroll their child in an EL service program at any time if they choose to do so. And this information was found from Arizona Department of Education with no date. And before we finish the presentation, I wanted to make a comment about English learners. I was not an English learner because I was born here in Jamestown, New York, but I was a Spanish learner. My parents moved to Puerto Rico when I was 5 years old. And though I knew how to speak Spanish, I did not know how to read or write it because my mom used to speak to me in Spanish and my father used to speak to me in English. So I had both languages and I was bilingual. However, I was struggling in school when we moved to Puerto Rico because I did not know how to read or write Spanish. So I wish that back then we had programs like these programs in Arizona because back then they wanted to hold me back one grade level because I did not know how to read and write Spanish. And the best tool that my mom found back then was this tool called La Cartilla Fonética. It's like a phonetics book. And with that phonetics book, in a matter of about a month and a half, I had the opportunity to learn to write and read Spanish. And that's how I did not get held back 1 year in school. I just wanted to make this comment because I can relate to what English learners go through because I went through it when I was a little girl and when I was in school, just like these students. And my goal in this class is to learn many more strategies and ways that I can help English learners as I come across them in my journey as an educator. And to conclude, Arizona's approach to serving English learners is rooted in inclusive research-based practices that promote language development, student agency, and academic success. Through structured English immersion (SEI) models such as newcomer, pull-out, 2-hour, and 50-50 dual language immersion, schools can address diverse learner needs effectively. EL eligibility is determined through the Home Language Survey and the Arizona English Language Learner Assessment, AZELA, which also plays a key role in placement and reassessment. Standard accommodations and reclassification criteria ensure fair and consistent support throughout the learning journey. Importantly, parents and guardians maintain the right to accept or refuse EL services while still ensuring their child's participation in a ZELA until proficiency is met. Altogether, Arizona's policies reflect a commitment to empowering multilingual learners with the tools, confidence, and support necessary to thrive in both language and content learning. Something that I wish that I would have had when I was in school. But fortunately, I was able to learn Spanish in a matter of quick time, super quick, so I could keep on going on the grade level that I was supposed to be in. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Natividad. Here are my references. This is where I got all of my information from. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.